March 28, 2023. Okie. Everyone just sit still for a little while longer. This was scheduled for today and still may happen, but tomorrow may be the day Intel changes day to day. This can occur at any moment. All grass is green, including the intersections at our nearest bank. Buckle up, stay alert. Check on trust, checking account, do not let it out of our sight at cash in. Stay with the IQD cash all the way through the process until you see the guaranteed deposit receipt. I will be here till 1 a.m. Sleep is crucial. Tomorrow is a big day, just a big day. Everything is sitting very pretty, and conditions are ripe. Banks are on high alert. Have all accounts set up prior. Use passports from henceforth, which aids in our safety. Mishaman. We are hearing things that are coming from Iraq that are about the exchange. We know Al-Sudani did a talk about the currency being strong, and we had Al-Sistani talking about the currency and what you could do / what you can't do. That's really important because Al-Sistani is a very important figure in the nation of Iraq and the Middle East. The education has been ongoing and they've had a little more communication with respect to the small category notes. They have an agenda to get their financial system, ceasing the multi-currency practices, which is not using the dollar. It's going to be using the dinar, but they're also going to be able to clear on new platforms, all these different currency of the world. MNT GOAT. Parliamentary wealth, all roads are open to passing the oil law in Parliament. Quote, a member of the Oil, Gas, and Natural Resources Committee, Kazem Al-Tuki, revealed that there are parliamentary efforts to pass the oil and gas law soon, indicating that all roads are clear towards passing the law. This article is music to me when I read it. Yes, we waiting so long to see this. Finally. Go RV. Nader from the Mideast. Everything is in place. Now we're just waiting for them to do something to make a move. Marks. Via PDK, we are being told from all of our sources that there is a mad scramble now to close any deal, tighten any loose ends, because the time scale has moved up and they are scrambling to get it out the door. It would not surprise me if it's about to happen. It is very fluid and I hear it is moving very quickly. Expect a lot of back and forth news. It's close, guys. We are watching it all play out like a demolition derby. I just need you to know where we are at right now, and it's a mad scramble to the finish line. I have not gotten this many emails, texts, calls and messages from this many people in a very long time. It certainly could be any moment. Question. So if Vietnam goes when Iraq goes alone, will it float as well? Mark's answer, I am hearing from many contacts throughout the day today, that the rate may be fixed and should not be afloat. Article, Prime Minister Advisor, Iraq economy is strong and moving toward improvement. They are literally telling you what they are doing. Quotes, he emphasized that the situation is gradually improving as long as there is freedom in transferring the process that is subject to compliance, noting that during the next few weeks or months the official exchange rate will match with the parallel. What they are telling us is that the rate in the next few weeks will be in parallel with their assets, or their great wealth. They are telling you it is happening. Don't panic about the timing. They have to say that to keep the timing confused. It is part of the process. Read more https://dinardetectives.com/marks584/ Pimpy. USD/IQD rate declines in Baghdad, Erbil. The U.S. dollar is continuing to gain ground on the Iraqi dinar. This is not good. This is out of whack. The Iraqi dinar is not gaining in value versus the U.S. dollar, and it's going in the wrong direction. Claire. Al-Sudani's advisor determines, via Earth News, the date for the disappearance of the dollar price difference. Quote, Sali, set today, Tuesday, a date when the difference in the price of the dollar from the central bank will be removed from the market. The exchange market in Iraq is still gradually adapting to international compliance controls in financing foreign trade for the private sector. We find that the country is still dealing with two exchange rates, which is a very temporary matter that will disappear over time. Frank 26. Question. At exchange, do they, the bank, file anything? They're not going file anything. You're on your own when you exchange your currency. It is your responsibility to report your capital gains, to pay your taxes. The banks are not going to tell Uncle Sam anything about you. Community comment. The bank automatically will report to the IRS any deposits of $10,000 or more. Frank, that's true, any transaction worth over $10,000 ends up in our government's lap. Note, always consult your tax professionals to determine the proper taxes for your unique circumstances. Iraq boots on the ground report. Firefly, I went to go see my bank friend and he says with the dollar gone from ATM machines very soon we will have to see value more. And the lower notes and the fees, without these it will lead to hyperinflation. The point has been set. Looks like soon more greater news is coming. Frank, that's exactly right. This last week of March may be very explosive as they give you the final definitions and instructions of the monetary reform. Next Monday is when I hope they will show you your new national currency with value in the coins. I'm excited about what they are now telling you and showing you. Judy Byington News. Rumors and Opinions Tuesday AM March 29, 2023 March 28, 2023. Note, all intel should be considered as rumors until we receive official announcements, and rates and dates could change anytime until we get to the banks/redemption centers. RV excerpts from the Restored Republic via a GCR, update as of Tues. March 28, 2023 compiled Tues. 28 March 12:01 AM EST. Global Currency Reset. Judy note, according to sources, the fractional fiat money system went down on Wednesday 1st of February. Since Friday 10th of March, banking systems have been using the new Unified Payment Interface, UPI, on the Quantum Financial System, QFS, for foreign currency swaps. By Monday 13th of March the new currency rates of the Global Currency Reset were locked in on bank screens. Tier 1 had already gone and Tier 2 was processing. By Monday 20 March, the first day of spring, the global currency reset of 66 nations began after the Iraqi dinar revalued in country and began trading on the Forex. According to Bruce, Iraqi citizens have been exchanging in country at a decent rate just under 7 and that's the in-country rate for dinar. By Wednesday 22nd of March currencies of over 200 countries and 11,000 institutions had completed their digital integration of bank accounts from the global central banking system to the quantum financial system, GFS, ran through hashtag ISO 20022 in the new Starlink satellite system. By Thursday 23rd of March those over 200 countries and 11,000 institutions had completely disconnected from the old Cabal Swift fiat money CBDC system and switched over to the new gold/asset-backed quantum financial system. Over the past 2 weeks the large trust accounts R, SG, DOT and MMT have been funded for the global currency reset. Global Currency Reset Update, Project Sandman has completed, where 100-plus nations global agreement ended the dominance of the US dollar and petrodollar. The Federal Reserve was technically bankrupt. Quantum Financial System and Global Currency Reset, the QFS and the GCR are golden, trust the plan. American Media Group. AMJ News. Federal Reserve note coming to an end. Western financial system suffers $8 trillion implosion. Iraqi News. Monday evening Iraq economic news highlights. Al-Abadi, dollar smuggling rates during Bremer's time are the highest in Iraq's history. Monday, March 27, 2023, Taysir al-Asadi Al-Abadi. Dollar smuggling rates during Bremer's time are the highest in Iraq's history. 9 to 1,679,903,931. Former Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi revealed, on Monday, the highest levels of currency smuggling during the era of the so-called head of the American Occupation Authority Paul Bremer, indicating that the total oil revenues in the years 2015, 2016 and 2017 were around $130 billion. Al-Abadi said in a televised interview that the rate of currency auction sales was very high during the years of the presence of the American occupation forces in Iraq and Paul Bremer's presidency of the Occupation Authority. He added, the banking system needs a new vision by the central bank and the government to revitalize it. I have reviewed the currency auction numbers since its inception and made the required reforms. He pointed out that the talk about smuggling $260 billion during 2017 is false, as the total oil revenues in the years 2015, 2016 and 2017 were around $130 billion, noting that the rates of currency auction sales witnessed a decline when I assumed the premiership and during the time of Adil Abdul Mahdi. Link Planning makes recommendations to the Council of Ministers to address the market implications of changing exchange rates PM:02:38:27/03/2023 today, Monday. The Ministry of Planning announced that it had submitted recommendations to the Council of Ministers to address the repercussions of changing exchange rates on the economic movement. The ministry said, in a statement received by NRT Arabia, a copy of it, that the Undersecretary for Technical Affairs, Mar Hamad Johan, held an extensive meeting with the participation of the Investment Authority and a number of government agencies, representatives of the Iraqi Contractors Union, the Iraqi Federation of Industries, the Baghdad Chamber of Commerce, and the Foundation for Sustainable Development, to discuss the effects of changing the exchange rate on the Iraqi market. The statement added, the meeting discussed a number of proposals and recommendations, which aim to address the repercussions of changing exchange rates on the economic and commercial movement, stressing that the ministry will present its recommendations to the Council of Ministers during the coming period. And he continued, Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani directed earlier that the Ministry of Planning should study the effects of changing the exchange rate on the Iraqi market. N.A. Chinese companies account for the largest share of Iraq's oil exports in a month. March 27, 2023. 113 Shafak News / The Iraqi Oil Marketing Company, SOMO, announced on Monday that the Chinese oil companies were the most numerous to buy Iraqi oil during the month of February. SOMO stated in a statistic published on its official website and seen by Shafak News Agency, that the share of Chinese companies was 7 companies out of 35 companies that bought oil during the month of February. She added, Indian companies came second with 6 companies, American companies came third with 4 companies, then South Korean companies came fourth with 3 companies, and Italian, Japanese and Greek companies came with 2 companies each. She indicated that the rest was distributed among the Dutch, British, Russian, Emirati, Egyptian, Jordanian, Kuwaiti, Spanish, Turkish and French companies, with 1 company for each of them. SOMO indicated that it depends on the sale of Iraqi oil on the main criteria for contracting with large, medium, independent and vertically integrated governmental global oil companies, noting that the most prominent international companies that have bought Iraqi oil are the Indian Company, Hindustan, Korean Cocos, Chinese Petrogen, US ExxonMobil, and Shell. British, Dutch and Italian Eni. Link Oil. Iraq's only card for pressure. Iraq, March 27, 2023. Haider al-Jaber. Iraq is engaged in negotiations on more than one level, including complex ones such as its water rights, and simple ones such as the border with Kuwait, which requires possession of pressure cards on the other side, or what falls under the framework of soft powers. Iraq appears to be empty of important papers. According to MP Briar Rashid, it possesses only the economic paper represented by oil. Rashid told Al-Sabah, Iraq has nothing but the economy card, which is the oil paper. As for talking about preventing imports, it is illogical because there is no alternative. He added, Iraq can only pressure through oil to achieve progress in negotiations, with the absence of influential soft forces. Internal political stability is one of the most important sources of strength for any political system, and the Dean of the Faculty of Political Science at Al-Mustanziriya University, Dr. Khalid Abd al-Ila, that Iraq is going through a state of relative stability that must be invested in the coming years. Abd al-Ila said to Al-Sabah, every country that wants to embark on a foreign policy and possesses auxiliary forces must provide a stable internal policy that meets the national interest. Stressing that Iraq is going through a state of relative internal stability, and if this continues in the coming years, foreign policy will be able to strengthen relations regionally and internationally. He explained that political stability in its broad sense is not related to the political dimension only, but also in the economic, trade and investment fields. This strength is at the level of visits to the countries concerned. Until now, Iraq does not have an effective pressure card other than the economy paper, which is confirmed by the academic and political analyst, Dr. Abd al-Amir al-Abouti, who told Al-Sabah, it is necessary to identify the problems of the Iraqi state in a way that leads to negotiations with the designated party. He added, Iraq's problems are distributed with certain countries, which are the neighboring countries, in addition to America. It affects democratic countries more than others. Edited by Muhammad Al-Ansari. Details of an expanded meeting to discuss the impact of changing the exchange rate on the Iraqi market. Money and business economy news. Baghdad. The Ministry of Planning announced, on Monday, that it will submit recommendations to the Council of Ministers to address the repercussions of changing exchange rates on the economic movement. The ministry said in a statement, the Undersecretary for Technical Affairs, Mar Hamad Johan, held an extensive meeting with the participation of the Investment Commission and a number of government agencies, representatives of the Iraqi Contractors Union, the Iraqi Federation of Industries, the Baghdad Chamber of Commerce, and the Foundation for Sustainable Development, to discuss the effects of changing the exchange rate on the market. Iraqi. She added, the meeting discussed a number of proposals and recommendations, which aim to address the repercussions of changing exchange rates on the economic and commercial movement, stressing that the ministry will present its recommendations to the Council of Ministers during the coming period. Experts. Banking companies violate the instructions of the central bank. The 1st March 27, 2023. Baghdad. Shukran al-Fatlawi. Experts in financial matters called on the central bank to stop dealing with exchange companies that violate the instructions for selling dollars, while they called for setting weekly or monthly quotas for each merchant or customer in order to increase the supply of dollars in the parallel markets. Yesterday, Sunday, the Al-Khifa and Al-Harithiyya Central Stock Exchange in Baghdad recorded 154,200 Iraqi dinars, compared to $100. Financial expert Ahmed Al-Hathal told Al-Sabah, regulating the exchange market requires dealing with the dollar as a commodity subject to supply and demand, by setting weekly or monthly quotas according to the need for the merchant or customer, noting that this produces a large supply of dollars, and thus the price approaches parallel to the official price. In a move that enhances the value of the local currency against the dollar, the central bank last month amended the official dollar exchange rate to 1,300 dinars, instead of 1,470 dinars. Al-Hathlal added that a number of licensed exchange companies violate the central bank's instructions, as they use false data in the dollar transfer process, so the central bank should withhold their dollar share and not deal with them, explaining that these people form a cartel that monopolizes the dollar in order to achieving monopolistic profits, not economic ones. For his part, economist Dr. Adnan Bahia told Al-Sabah that the reform packages of the central bank focused on increasing dollar sales outlets, which indicates a real breakthrough in the crisis. He explained that some banks in Europe have reduced confidence in the dollar, and China's dealings with a number of countries have begun in Chinese yuan, which will lead to a decrease in global demand for the dollar and thus a decline. The prices. Al-Rafadain issued a statement regarding electronic advances economy, March 27, 2023 9:18 a.m. Number of readings, 8,905. Al-Rafadain Bank specified electronic advances for employees of the Ministry of Interior and Defense, and retirees, which will be without the condition of the sponsor. The bank's media office said in a statement received by Tigris, today, Monday, that the advances start from 5 million up to 25 million, according to the borrower's entitlement, which is commensurate with the amount of his total monthly salary. He added, the advance is guaranteed by the MasterCard issued by the Rafadain Bank, without the need for a guarantor condition.